Hello everyone. Welcome back to Celeb Scope. We need to talk about the Braxton sisters because things have really taken a turn for the worse. Honestly, they should probably step away from reality TV at this point because nothing between them has been resolved. In fact, it seems like they've gone backwards. Tamar, especially, seems more out of control than ever, and there's clear tension among the sisters. I really think Towanda can't stand Tamar, and even Toni got so worked up she almost got physical. I was like, wow, this has gone way too far. The main reason for their argument was that Tamar got upset after receiving a cease and desist letter from her sisters regarding her interview with their niece, Ashley Braxton. Ashley has been speaking out and exposing some dark family secrets, including claims that she was abused. She even revealed that her Aunt Trina's husband, Gabe, had been texting her when she was only 16, and after that, Trina completely cut her off. Tamar, however, felt that Ashley deserved to have a platform to share her story because she herself went through childhood abuse and didn't want Ashley to be silenced like she once was. But after Tamar did the interview, she received that cease and desist and decided to confront her sisters, which quickly spiraled out of control. I'll be honest, Tamar was definitely out of line during that scene. And I say this as someone who actually likes her. I'm a fan, but she went too far. Still, her sisters were gaslighting her so much that she completely lost it. They kept pretending not to know who sent the letter, even though their family lawyer did, and everyone knows it was likely their brother Michael behind it. He didn't want his daughter Ashley speaking out, and neither did the sisters. Trina especially didn't want it because it would make her look bad. She's the one who blamed her niece instead of her husband, who was the grown man texting a minor. That says a lot about Trina's character. So, honestly, I do believe they all knew about that cease and desist, even though Tamar didn't, and that's exactly why she was so angry.
One of y'all gave this my address. By sending a cease and desist, it's shutting down my business. You know, the whole Ashley situation, they got upset with me because I reached out to her and I was willing to give her a platform to tell her story. They didn't like it, and so they all stopped talking to me. And so I am not supposed to bring it up. I'm not supposed to say anything. The only thing that brings us together is the cameras.
One of the ways Tamar Braxton was gaslighted by Toni Braxton was when Tamar mentioned that it was actually Toni who suggested bringing Ashley onto Braxton family values. But when Tamar brought it up, Toni completely denied ever saying that.
I told Toni Braxton, I am getting Ashley here. And then when Toni said we need to have her on the show, I'm thinking like a producer. I told you we need to have Ashley on the show? No, I never say that. Yes, I never said that.
Toni denied it at first. However, during her confessional, she basically admitted that yes, she and Tamar had talked about bringing Ashley onto Braxton family values.
I just thought it would be more than fair to talk to Ashley or maybe have her on the Braxtons so that everyone involved could talk. I didn't realize Tamar took it literally and now she thinks I'm intentionally lying.
See, Toni is trying to play both sides because she really does care about what her other siblings think. She doesn't want to upset Trina, Towanda, or even their brother Michael. So, she's pretending she had nothing to do with the whole Ashley situation, even though she actually did have that conversation with Tamar about bringing Ashley onto Braxton family values. Now, when Tamar called Towanda out for stealing money from her, that's when things really got messy. The discussion shifted from the cease and desist to Towanda allegedly taking money from Tamar. Tamar accused Towanda of not paying her back for the down payment she covered on Towanda's home. But Towanda tried to deny it, claiming it was a gift. However, in her bankruptcy filing, it clearly showed that Tamar was listed as a creditor. That means Tamar loaned her the money, but Towanda never paid it back. And since Towanda filed for bankruptcy, Tamar can't collect that money anymore.
I know where you live because I put down your down payment.
You sure did. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much.
You said I will pay you back the next day, and then you listed me as a creditor.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much.
So now it was a gift. Oh, wow. So I give away $50,000.
It was $50,000?
So Tamar gave me money for my down payment in 2018. She gave me $35,000. I have receipts. It was absolutely a gift.
It wasn't a gift, it was a loan. And it's obvious that Towanda doesn't like Tamar at all. So honestly, she needs to pay her back what she owes. On top of that, Towanda was exposed for using Tamar's credit card to pay her own phone bills.
Because I found out that Towanda has been using my credit card to pay her phone bill.
My phone bill?
I was getting a new phone line. That's when I found out that I was a part of Towanda's family plan. It was like 6 lines for 4 years. And I was paying for it all this time and didn't know it.
Honestly, I believe Tamar. I do. And it's clear that Towanda is having some serious money issues, and the sisters do try to help her out whenever they can. I know Toni has helped, and Tamar definitely stepped in, but Towanda downplays it like it's no big deal. The reality is, Towanda doesn't like Tamar, and it's honestly wild. If you really hate your sister that much, why are you taking money from her? Towanda even tried to deflect the whole situation by bringing up an old claim that Tamar slept with Toni's boyfriend from the 90s. It almost felt like Towanda was saying, if you don't pay my bills, I'm spilling all your secrets.
You don't want to go blow to blow with me because I know where all the bodies are buried, and I never exposed any of that information before.
But what you steal?
I don't steal anything.
You don't?
What I stole?
You sold men.
Who's the man that I stole?
Tony's. You slept with them
stop.
a few times.
Who? What man?
Stop.
What's the man? Don't play with me, Towanda. You
Tamar, shut up.
Yes, you did. You're
That's
liar.
a lie. No,
You
that
told
ain't
me
true. You know that ain't
oh,
true.
my Jesus.
Everybody knew what was going on between Tamar and Tony's ex, or Tony's boyfriend. And Tamar brings a false accusation up to say that I slept with him too. That's on the wrong street. That is not my address. I don't have mileage on my coochie.
So, come to find out, the man Towanda brought up was someone from way back in the 90s. It was honestly crazy that Towanda would bring that up just to deflect from the fact that she was taking money from Tamar.
What makes you so angry that you want to do that to your little sister? For Towanda to bring something up that happened in 1995, we're in 2025 right now. Help me understand.
Tawanda's getting married. We're supposed to be all coming together as a family.
Towanda hasn't talked to me since the last Braxton taping.
Now, if this all went down in 1995, I'm wondering if the man in question was Shamar Moore, but honestly, that's beside the point. Tamar mentioned that Towanda hasn't spoken to her since their last taping. And yeah, Towanda hasn't reached out because she doesn't like Tamar. I get it, Tamar can be a lot sometimes, so I'm not going to completely blame Towanda for keeping her distance. But at the same time, it's kind of crazy that you can dislike someone so much and still take from them. Towanda doesn't talk to Tamar, but she still wants her on the show, because let's face it, the Braxtons wouldn't have a show without Tamar or Toni. We all know that, and on top of all of this, during that dinner, the sisters tried to use Tamar's mental health against her. They literally brought up her struggles to try to take a jab at her, which is just messed up.
I don't argue with sick people. Go ahead.
Bitch, I will you up. Don't play with me.
Do that.
I swear to God. What you're not going to do is with my mental health when all y'all really need the pills. Guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to make me feel bad because I've been diagnosed with depression and anxiety. From y'all. Y'all don't like me because y'all jealous.
You're a mean girl. You're lying to
you're
people.
such a hater. Y'all hate me so bad.
And mental illness is real. It's real.
Oh, I'm crazy?
Mental illness is real.
That was low. Really low. And I get it. Tamar isn't completely innocent in all of this. She was definitely doing a lot, but bringing up her mental illness? That's a whole other level, even for Toni. The conversation was supposed to be about the cease and desist, but it quickly spiraled into the sisters throwing these low blows at each other, exposing each other's personal stuff. One of the biggest moments was when Towanda brought up Tamar's supposed fling with Birdman. Then, Tamar hit back at Toni, asking, well, do you think I slept with so-and-so too? And looking back, I think she actually said, do you think I slept with Birdman too? That's when Toni stood up, ready to fight, and told Tamar, don't go there. Don't play with my man. Now, there's always been rumors that Tamar and Birdman had a brief fling back in the day, long before Toni and Birdman ever got together. The rapper Debrat, who's friends with Tamar, even reposted a report saying Tamar dated Birdman briefly back in 2003. So, if that's true, technically Birdman was Tamar's man first. But fast forward to today, and Birdman is married to Toni. I could see how Toni might feel a little uncomfortable with the whole situation if there was indeed any history between Tamar and Birdman. And that's probably why she reacted the way she did. Of course, I could be wrong, but that's just my take on it.
You think I'm too? Huh?
Don't you go there.
No, man.
Don't you go there.
So, at that point, Trina and Towanda jumped up to protect Toni. Trina stepped right in between Toni and Tamar, but Tamar thought Trina pushed her. In reality, Trina was just trying to separate them, but Tamar wasn't having it. She got physical, grabbed Trina's hair, and even kicked her, which was just so immature and ridiculous. Tamar really needs to grow up. At her age, it's honestly sad to watch her act like that. It's not cute. Now I get it, she was triggered, and she was definitely gaslit. I don't think she was 100% in the wrong, honestly. If anything, the sisters were more at fault because they were playing games with her. But still, that doesn't give Tamar the right to physically attack Trina. And let's not forget Toni. She got up and was ready to bucket Tamar, so she was wrong too. But what really got under my skin was when Towanda tried to call the cops on Tamar. That's when I really saw how much Towanda resents her. I mean, can you imagine wanting your sister to go to jail over a family squabble? That really showed me that Towanda doesn't just dislike Tamar, she hates her.
Let's call the cops and press charges. Let's press charges on her.
I don't do that. I'm gone. I'm not doing that.
Now, I respect the fact that Toni sobered up and said, no, I'm not calling the cops on my sister, because honestly, it's never that serious. But the fact that Towanda even suggested it speaks volumes. That deep resentment she has for her little sister is clear. And I'm not going to act like Tamar is completely innocent, she's not. We've all seen how Tamar behaves. She can be messy, impulsive, and mean at times. She's definitely said and done things that have probably frustrated Towanda. I know Towanda still holds onto some resentment over the fact that Tamar left their singing group and signed a solo deal without telling them. Then, when Braxton Family Values first launched, Towanda saw it as her shot to shine, but instead, it was Tamar who became the breakout star. Tamar married a rich husband, made money, and landed opportunities outside of Toni. I'm sure Towanda felt some type of way about that, probably a lot of ways. I also think there's a deeper layer to Towanda's feelings. Growing up, she probably didn't get the same attention or praise for her singing voice that Toni or Tamar did. Being the middle child, she wasn't the oldest or the youngest, and sometimes that can lead to feeling overlooked. And let's be real, she's probably also faced some colorism in the family. People don't always want to talk about it, but I think Towanda's darker skin tone might have played a role in her feeling less favored. There's definitely a lot of things that contribute to Towanda's resentment, and her jealousy of Tamar is pretty evident to some. In fact, a woman named Latch Braxton, who claims to be the Braxtons' cousin, even said Towanda was always jealous. Latch went on to claim that both Towanda and Trina were jealous of Tamar and Toni's success.
I'm going to say my little 2 cents on the Braxtons because, as you all may well know, my last name is Braxton, and yes, those are my cousins. I'm going to say this. Towanda has always been jealous of Toni and Tamar. Towanda has always been seen in the background as the background singer. So when it comes to the spotlight and the income and the money, there you have it. Pure jealousy. And everything goes all the way back. It starts back with the head of the household. They were taught. Everything that you see these young ladies do on screen, this ain't for cameras at all. I got stories and stories of family reunions. This ain't for cameras at all. This is exactly how they act. Towanda has always been the messy and sneaky one, her and Trina. They have always been messy and sneaky. Their whole entire lives, this is how they are. And they've always been jealous of Toni and Tamar. Toni being the oldest, Tamar being the baby girl. They have always been jealous. And for the simple fact that your sister paid your down payment and you continue to keep dragging her, watch what Tamar do.
I thought it was really interesting when the cousin mentioned that it all starts at the top, at the parents. And honestly, it really does. The favoritism and how certain children were treated differently, not to mention how some of the abuse was overlooked or suppressed, really shaped how the sisters turned out. It's sad when you think about it. But anyway, I'd love to hear what you all think about this video. Drop your thoughts down below and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, share this video if you care. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.